Kendall Roy is no longer alone. The second eldest son of Logan Roy and former heir to the Waystar empire, after a turbulent journey in Season 3 of HBO's transmission era, he now has true allies on his side, brothers Shiv and Roman, each as time wishes. Getting here hasn't been easy for Kendall. Ask anyone who's attended the infamous, Too Many Birthdays, celebration on its 40th orbit around the sun. It may be even harder to stay here, because in the succession peace never lasts forever and indeed often takes a more severe form than the previous war. But for now, Ken and his siblings can breathe their first triumphant sigh of relief as they team up to abandon plans for a new business called TheHundred to buy Pierce Media Group. From under the nose of their evil, estranged father, on the man's lonely birthday, no less. Just enough birthday this time. A rare win for the Roy brothers, especially rare for Kendall. It's also a more subdued event than the audience is used to, at least as far as Kendall is concerned. The premiere focuses less on his antics, more on Logan's isolation, Greg's descent into the Abominable Brotherhood to the dark side, and Shiv Tom's marriage ending. Kendall, the other hand, chews on sunflower seeds and plays a supporting role in her alliance's deal stage, rather than in less of her typical glory. Strong, for his part, loves the premiere's masterful use of Kendall, especially since it won't last long as the final season progresses. To hear Strong have say, the remaining 9 episodes will see Ken and his extended family return to their race the bottom very soon. Ahead, The Hollywood Reporter talks about latest premiere of Succession with Strong, Kendall's new outlook on life, darkness that's still there and to come, and ceremony that marked end of her time on show. There is a significant time jump between the 3rd and 4th seasons. How have you prepared for this iteration of Kendall and the renewed relationship with Shiv and Roman? You know, the track was paved for you. At end 3rd season, Kendall is sword-freed from burdening this terrible secret she carries around on dirt floor that parking lot and is eating her alive from inside. He tells them, "I've been torn into a million pieces." She extends a hand and asks them for help. He lets them carry it. They make that scene sort of like a firefighter, and that goes on until the beginning of next season, where he leans on them. It needs them. Together they have formed an alliance and are really flying in heat for the first time. Whatever dangerous path he took, he pulled himself together piece by piece. She drives around Mulholland in her Porsche Taycan, eats sunflower seeds and feels pretty good. Was the sunflower seed your idea? You try to tell a story with behavior. We were in Palisades, nothing written, but suddenly realized that I needed something and needed sunflower seeds. So I went and bought them. Kendall says she needs something super absorbent to focus on. Sunflower seeds definitely qualify. It's a funny phrase, but it also ultimately points to something very tragic, right? Kendall realizes that she has a bottomless void to fill, a past filled with drug abuse and substance abuse. He tries to fill it with his professional efforts and pursuits. It will continue to fill it like this, which I see as a kind of tragedy. Creator Jesse Armstrong, and I talked about Richard III before this season. He has morally mortgaged himself and crossed every emotional and moral line, so that when he got there, the leakage of his soul was complete. It's just a matter of time before he puts on the crown. That doesn't mean this season is like that, but it's in the DNA of this season. In your conversations with Jesse, were you referring to this as the form of Kendall's last broadcast? Are you locked in at that point that this is the end? No, but I always knew Jesse was thinking that, and to be completely honest, I advocated that this be the end of this character's curve. I feel the arc is at its best, almost historically driven in terms of modern drama. But you can only experience so much catharsis and so much tragedy in one arc. However, just when I thought I couldn't go any lower, enter season 4. But it is surprising me that Jesse and the writers have succeeded, that they continue raise the stakes and continue write double black diamond level material just for us pass. But I was ready to finish. Shiv, Rome and Kendall at the premiere of season 4. Claudette BariusHBO This episode concludes with a historic moment of triumph for Kendall, Rome and Shiv, who bought Pierce. It has a lot of room to turn, but for now it's a solid position. What was it like for the brothers to use that moment of glory? I actually feel like Kendall was a bit in backseat of the car at start of this season and was happy to be in a group. He was a very important factor in everything. But she still bounces back from what happened in Italy and is happy to be with her brother and sister on this journey. For Kendall, every victory was a fiery victory. Every victory has contained seeds of destruction or loss. This is a beautiful moment of connection with his brother-sister, and when everything is calm on the river, before it turns into 5th grade streams. The move happens so fast that they are on the verge of starting their own business, TheHundred. What's the balance between their decision to go after Pierce being a wise job interview and the fact that they often shoot at their father? Yes, well, both. I think Kendall has more Logan inside her than anyone realizes. I think Kendall realizes that this is actually a good business opportunity and that sometimes you have to turn around. The idea of building empire on an established brand and performing CPR on this old media brand started in election year, like his father, with newspapers. There's something about the lure of newspapers that he wants to both compete with father and dominate his father, but also wants to follow in father's footsteps. Looking towards end of the series, did you process end of Kendall Roy? Did you release Kendall, or is this process still ongoing? The kind of rituals you can do. We probably finished filming somewhere I'm not allowed to say, but it was so hot and tropical. Maybe 15 minutes after I finished, I had Kieran and Sarah pull my hair out. I think another group of people also jumped with scissors. Anyone who wants to help. Then I flew to Denmark, where I have a house near the ocean. I went straight home from airport, took a long walk, sat on the beach, watched Kendall go down with sun and said adios. Interview edited for length and clarity. New episodes of Succession air on Sundays at 9 p.m. On HBO and HBO Max. Follow THR's coverage of the transfer's latest season.